in your Bible. Genesis chapter 3. And in Genesis chapter 3, if you'll look at verse 22. Genesis chapter 3, and go to verse 22. And I'm going to read verse 22 through 24. When you have found that, please let me know by standing. Again, Genesis chapter 3, verses 22 through 24. And in this chapter, God is addressing Adam and Eve because of a shortcoming or because of a sin that really the first sin ever committed. They had been disobedient in not eating from the tree of good and evil, which he asked them to abstain from. Beginning at verse 22. Then the Lord God said, look, the human beings have begun or have become like us, knowing both good and evil. What if they reach out, take fruit from the tree of life, and eat it? Then they will live forever. So the Lord God banished them from the Garden of Eden, and he sent Adam out to cultivate the ground from which he had been made. After sending them out, the Lord God stationed mighty cherubim to the east of the garden, and he placed a flaming sword that flashed back and forth to guard the way of the tree of life. Let us bow. Father, thank you for this glorious day. Thank you for yet another opportunity to proclaim the good news. May I ask this morning, Father, if you'll speak to your servant, if you'll give me something that will make you pleased, if you'll give me something that will encourage, that will enlighten, that will be informative for all those that shall hear it. And then, Father, when I conclude, I will be so gracious as to give all of the honor and all of the glory to you, for you alone are worthy. Yes. Jesus, in your name I pray. Amen, amen, and amen. You may be seated. This morning we are continuing our series, which is entitled Reset. And the series is about stopping where you are, getting yourself together, and moving forward. And in our first message, we said that in order to reset, sometimes you got to stop and get out of reverse. We're just going backwards. We're not even standing still. We're going backwards. And so sometimes you got to stop, reset, so you can get going in the right direction. And then the following week, we talked about this young man who had pretty much lost his mind because he got a lot of money. And it wasn't until he lost everything he had that he came to himself. And so we said that when the light comes on, sometimes no matter how many people tell you, no matter how much folks pray for you, till your light comes on, you can't reset. And then last week, we talked about being humble. We talked about swallowing your pride. Sometimes we can't get there because we can't say I'm sorry. Sometimes we can't get there because we don't want to acknowledge that we made a mistake or that we got it wrong. But sometimes you just got to swallow your pride and move forward. The Bible even said that pride comes just before the fall, meaning pride is the very last thing before you make your mistake, before you go down. And so today we're going to continue in reset. And in today's message, I want to use a term that I heard somebody use this term some years ago, and I never forgot it. And the term that they used is, they were talking about life, and they said sometimes you have to accept the new normal. New normal. New normal means that The way your life was will never, ever be that way again. And you can't go back and you can't undo it. You're going to have to, you don't have to, but if you're going to be successful, if you're going to have a fulfilled life, you're going to have to accept the new normal. Now, accepting the new normal doesn't always mean that something bad happened in your life. It could be something good. And I'm going to share with you some positive things where people have had to accept the new normal. I'm also going to share some not positive things that people had to accept the new normal. And then I'm going to share some dark side things that happened in people's lives, but yet they had to accept the new normal. Let me begin by talking about a new normal for one of Liberation's families. CJ, or as we call his name, Kevin, but we all know that CJ Page and Alexis Page have a new normal. Today they have a 3-day-old coming home. And life will never be like it was before Skylar Chance Pate got there. And so it's positive, but it's a new normal. They won't be able to just sleep all night long. They won't be able to just walk through the house and do whatever they want to do. They got a brand new boss. Don't pay no rent, but the boss. Don't buy no groceries, don't pay no utilities, but still, Skylar Chance Pate is the new boss. And so they have to now adjust to their new normal. And so that's what today's message is about, new normals. Now, let me talk about somebody today in the news that we all have heard. On Friday night when I was up, I remember a little bit after 12 o'clock, around 12:15, breaking news came and they said that Muhammad Ali had passed away. And even though I've never met the man, for some reason, sadness just came over me. And so I want to talk about him just for a few moments as we talk about accepting new normals. Muhammad Ali, I think we can safely say, was probably the greatest fighter of this century. He certainly was the most popular. And he was able to do what many boxers were never able to do. And he was a proud man, and he had no problem speaking his opinion. He won everything that you could win in his career as far as boxing was concerned. And he just was on top of the world. But through all of that, Muhammad Ali had to accept a new normal. At age 44, he found out that he had Parkinson's. And from that day forward, his life was never, ever going to be the same. This man who was on top of the world, money was no issue, everything was going great. And all of a sudden, he goes to the doctor because something's not feeling right, and he finds out that his life is never, ever going to be the same. A new normal. And listen to how he dealt with his. Many people that are celebrities and in the spotlight, when something like that happens to them, they go into seclusion, or they then stop being in front of the public because they don't want the public to see them that way. They want the public to remember them the way they were. But let me tell you something about the new normal. You don't want people to see you the way you were. You want people to see you the way you are. Don't accept me for the way I was. Accept me for where I am now. And so Muhammad Ali accepted his new normal and did not go into seclusion. traveled the world, but not when he was boxing, after the Parkinson. He became more famous after the Parkinson than he ever did before the Parkinson's, because he accepted his new normal. Those of you who are old enough to remember when the Olympics came to Atlanta, they lit this torch and they had a surprise guest, and it was Muhammad Ali, and his family didn't even know he was going to do this. Because by this stage, he had Parkinson's so bad that he could barely walk, and his hands were just shaking, and he came out on that stage barely walking, and his hands just shaking, but he lit the torch, and people didn't know this, but he burned his hand in the process because he couldn't hold it steady, but nobody knew, but he was just determined to accept his new normal and not to let life overtake him. New normal. I want to share a lot more people with you because everybody needs to understand that you will have a new normal. I played basketball, I played football, and I played baseball. And I have trophies in every one of them. And my new normal is I can't hit, I can't run, and I can't jump. I still talk the trash though. But I literally know I can't do those things. But it took me, matter of fact, I'm not even sure if I'm 100% there now. Because in my mind, I still can do it. I went to see my grandson, he's 9 years old. He plays AAU. And when I saw that little boy on that court, I'm like, I got tired and I was just watching. And so, watching him help some reality come in. Boy, you can't do what you used to do. My grandson played a game last night. He played a game yesterday morning. He played all day after that game and then played another game last night. And still wasn't tired. Oh, don't I wish. If I could run like, if I could do like my grandson, I eat all the time. Because nothing could stick. I would just enjoy it. But my new normal is, I can't do that. All I can do is reminisce. Sometimes I forget and my body says, have you lost your mind? And so I have to accept that new normal. We don't want to let life pass us by because we living in the past, not willing to accept the present. Everybody knows who Ray Charles is. Ray Charles was born a happy little boy just like everybody else. But at age 7, he had to accept the new normal. He lost his sight. And losing his sight meant he had to learn all the things he learned in his short 7 years all over again. He accepted his new normal and he excelled. Once you begin to accept where your life is, then you can excel. Let me get into Genesis. I haven't touched that yet. Everybody knows the story about Adam and Eve. They ate from the tree. They got kicked out of the garden. It hadn't dawned on me until I was preparing this message that Adam and Eve had to accept a new normal. When they were placed in that garden, they had food, they had shelter, they had everything they needed or wanted. But when God kicked them out, they had to accept a new normal. It hadn't crossed my mind that Adam had never had a job. So how does he know how to work? God told him you got to eat from planting a field. They didn't know what a field was. The food just grew. They didn't have tools to go out and build or to plow. They had to accept life out. You know, we read God kicked them out, then we move on. We don't think anything else about it. But they had to start over. Like, well, God, what's the plow? Oh, what's the hammer? What you mean go gather this food, make it grow? Food just always grew. But their new normal meant that they were going to have to figure things out. Sometimes life is going to come at you and you just going to have to figure it out. You can pray, God will be there, but you still going to just have to figure it out. Accept your new normal. Everybody, if Adam and Eve were the first people here and they had a new normal, you are going to have a new normal. Let me give you an example of somebody who would not accept their new normal. The children of Israel were in bondage for 430 years. And they prayed the whole time for 430 years, God, deliver us. Sometimes when you pray for deliverance, it don't seem like it's anywhere in sight. And finally, God decided to deliver them. Took them out of bondage, put them out in the wilderness, and they struggled accepting the new normal. Because in Egypt, even though they were slaves, and even though they were less than human, and even though they were punished, they never had to worry about eating. Even though the food wasn't top quality, they were eating. They had food to drink. And so now, out in the wilderness, there's no food. Out in the wilderness, they have to rely on themselves, where they had been relying on their slave masters. You know, some people can't handle freedom because they've been so accustomed to somebody else providing for them, taking care of them. Even if it was a bad situation, they're so dependent. And then when the opportunity comes for a new normal, which is freedom, they're like, but who's going to take care of me? Then you say you want to be free. That means free from other folks taking care of you. And so when they got out in the wilderness, they began to complain. Now, they asked God to bring them out. God brought them out. But now they're complaining. Why? Because God didn't bring them out the way they wanted. Bring me out with some food. Even though they came out with gold and silver and fine clothes. No, God, now I need some food. You ever ask God for something, He gave it to you, and you said, but God, I need this to go with it. That ain't quite enough. I forgot. I need this too. And then they still complained. Could not accept the new normal. They kept complaining, and eventually, God had enough. And so you don't ever want to make God say, okay, I'm tired of this. So God decided, okay, you've been in here 430 years, and now you're out here a month and you complain. I tell you what, I'm not going to let you go to where you want to go. You want to get to the promised land? Nah, you don't appreciate it. You ever did something with somebody they weren't appreciative? Yes. You done cook them a nice meal, and they say, ain't enough salt on this. I just cook you pick up your own salt. And start shaking. What you mean enough salt on this? They were not appreciative. And God said, I tell you what, everybody over the age of 20, you're going to die right here in the wilderness. When you can't accept your new normal, you will find yourself dying right where you are. You won't go backwards, you won't go forward, you just going to die right where you are. Unless you can accept, this is where I am. Here's what the Bible says. You've heard this scripture many times. I've been rich, I've been poor. But I've learned. Listen to the word, learned. In other words, after a while, you have to catch on. You've been broke more than one time. They couldn't accept their new normal, with the exception of just a handful. There's always that remnant. Caleb and Joshua said, oh, yes, we can do this. We can do this. And they were the only ones that actually got in that were over 20 because they accepted their new normal. Let me close this out because you got the gist of what I'm talking about, right? You got to accept it just where you are. Accept it, move forward. Let me share something with you. I want to share some names of some people that I think when I call these names, you will at least recognize one of them. All these people are famous. Vanessa Williams, Fantasia, Lady Gaga, Monique, the one who's a comedian, Dr. Maya Angelou, DMX, R. Kelly, Gabrielle Union, Queen Latifah, Chris Brown, Oprah Winfrey, Ozzy Osbourne, Madonna, Tyler Perry. They all have something in common. They all had to accept a new normal. But we know that they're famous. They have that in common. They're rich. They have that in common. They're known around the world. They have that in common. But they also have something else in common. And each one of them had to accept a new normal. Vanessa Williams, when she was 10 years old, was raped by an 18-year-old girl. And it changed her life forever. Fantasia was raped. Lady Gaga was raped. Monique, the comedian, was raped and molested by her older brother. Dr. Maya Angelou was raped. DMX was raped by a woman, and he said people think men can't be raped by women, but he said he was. Gabrielle Union worked in a shoe store, and a robber came in and raped her at gunpoint. Queen Latifah and Chris Brown were raped by their babysitters. Oprah Winfrey, raped by 2 family members. Ozzy Osbourne, molested as a child. Madonna was raped on a rooftop. Tyler Perry, molested as a child. One of the most horrific things that can ever happen to somebody is to have their body violated. It's one of those things that doesn't just go away. And each one of them had to accept that the only thing that is all theirs, their body, was taken and abused. And they all had to accept that new normal. That I can never undo this molestation. I can never undo the fact that my father raped me. I can never undo the fact that 2 of my family members raped me. I can never undo the fact every time I walk in a shoe store, the thought comes to my mind that somebody came in with a gun and raped me. That's the dark side. But yet it happens in life. And none of these people told it immediately. Most of them waited till they were in adulthood to reveal that their life had to accept a new normal. But they did accept it. Not only did they accept it, but they thrived. But how could they tell the world? How are you going to tell the world your brother raped you? How are you going to tell the world that your babysitter raped you? How did they do that? Because they understood that to move forward, to have some peace, they had to get some things out of him. Why tell the world? Because the world was their family. When they do records, it's for the world. When they do concerts, it's for the world. When they do movies, it's for the world. That was their family. Sometimes, to move forward and have a new normal, you got to get some stuff out. Sometimes you would think they got successful, they made millions of dollars, they could never be happy. Some of them revealed this after they became famous. Because they were still incomplete. It was still something that was killing them on the to tell the world your dark side. I am telling you to tell somebody. I am telling you not to let it eat you up. I'm telling you that you need to get some things out of you. Hi, my name is Byron Davis, and I'm the pastor of Liberation Ministries, and this is my lovely wife, Sherry.
Hi, in Liberation Ministries, we are a no judgment zone, which simply means come as you are and let God take you where you want to be.
My passion really isn't church. My passion is all about people. Thank you for coming.
Hope to see you soon.
Thank you for watching Liberation Ministries. Join our services 10 a.m. Sundays at Hornets Nest Elementary School, located at 6700 Beatties Ford Rd in Charlotte, North Carolina. On Tuesday nights at 7 p.m., join our interactive Bible discussion at Lake Forest Church on Gilead Road. We also have a prayer line available Wednesdays at 8 p.m. You can dial in from the comfort of your home, 712-432-6100, and enter code 293813. Visit us on the web at lministries.org and like our Facebook page at Liberation Ministries. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you soon. Be blessed.